Nature's Wonders. Poetry about our amazing Earth. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's largest system of coral reefs. It lies off the northeast coast of Australia. The reef is a living thing, made up of small tube-shaped animals called coral polyps and their limestone skeletons. The reef is home to the most diverse mix of marine life on Earth. Because of this, it is sometimes called the rainforest of the sea. Diverse. If something is diverse, it is made up of things that are different from each other. The Great Barrier Reef. In the Coral Sea off the coast of Queensland, Australia. It's 1,600 miles long along the Queensland coast. The barrier reef whose name is great, and that's no idle boast. It's 1,600 miles long and every inch alive. Perhaps you'd like to have a look. You do not need to dive. Or even get your swimsuit wet to see this awesome place. The reef's so huge it's visible by astronauts in space. To think you can be orbiting the Earth while looking at a teeming turtle, dolphin, whale, and porpoise habitat. Your eyes will tell the story, and you will not doubt its moral. There's hardly anything on Earth more beautiful than coral. Robert Schechter. Idle. If something is referred to as idle, it is not doing anything. An idle boast is bragging about something that cannot happen. The Mariana Trench is the lowest point in the world. It lies beneath the deep waters of the Pacific Ocean. The first people to explore the Mariana Trench were Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard. They traveled in a steel capsule made to withstand the crushing pressure, tens of thousands of feet below the sea. The Mariana Trench, western Pacific Ocean, east of the Mariana Islands. In all the oceans, nowhere else so deep, so dark with secrets men won't let it keep. It yields to human eyes in submarines, and then, full of itself, goes back to sleep. You wouldn't dream that hidden at its core, life would go on as it has done for more than most of time through 7 heavy miles of water pressed down upon its floor. To fathom it at last, to put on show, all that it holds laid out in a neat row, may happen sooner than to do that too, the mind of someone whom you think you know. X.J. Kennedy. Core. The core of something is at its center. Fathom. If you fathom something, you understand it. Located in the Himalayas in South Asia, Mount Everest is 29,035 feet above sea level, which makes it the highest peak in the world. Everest was formed when the Indian tectonic plate pushed against the Asian plate. Each year, Everest grows a little over 1/8 of an inch. This is due to the fact that the Indian plate continues to move against the Asian plate. In the 1920s, British expeditions made multiple attempts to climb to the top of Mount Everest. On May 29, 1953, Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were the first recorded people to make it to the summit. However, British explorers George Mallory and Andrew Irvine may have reached the summit first. In 1924, they disappeared while attempting the climb. To this day, no one knows whether or not they made it to the summit. Mount Everest. Himalaya Mountains, on the border between Tibet and Nepal in Asia. Eyes travel up to the skies, following the path of the mountain's rise. The wind's wrath whips through our tents as my heart skips and trips. We hush our fears through the night. Rushing gusts of wind and snow frighten us in jest, as we wait for that warming sight, the morning light, and continue this quest, to a point higher than the rest, a height that will be conquered by only the best. The strength of muscle will be put to test, to climb to the top of Mount Everest. Carol R. Bike. Wrath. Wrath is strong anger. The shifting, flickering lights of the Aurora Borealis are a wonder to see. The light show of the Aurora Borealis comes from the collision between electrically charged particles from the sun as they enter the Earth's atmosphere. Typically seen near the northern polar region, some of the best places to view the Aurora Borealis in North America are Alaska and the Canadian Yukon. Aurora Borealis. Over the shores of Labrador, a certain rippling purple curtain scatters light throughout the night. Wait, the color's now a duller hue of violet turning blue. This Arctic veil, a breaching whale, could peer behind and still be blind as anyone. The northern sun has bent to drape her gauzy cape across the skies and left my eyes to stare and stare at the glittering air. Stephen Withrow. Collision. A collision happens when a moving object crashes into something.